Just look at me now. Just look at me now. Eyes up on me, take a look at me now. Just look at me now. Just look at me now. Eyes up on me, take a look at me now.
Takes on the strike. Back booking.
Chelsea are champions.
Good evening. The Barclays Women's Super League is now over, but we have highlights from one more round of matches to bring you. And for the fourth season in a row, the destination of the WSL title went down to the final day. In order for that to happen, Chelsea had to get the job done against Tottenham midweek.
A win tonight would put Chelsea in pole position. Anything else and their destiny will be out of their hands. Oh, is that a handball? She says no, the referee. Here come Chelsea. Oh, space for Hermano. Should have been 1-0. They are slicing Tottenham apart. Here is Wrighton. Hermano! In this must-win game, Chelsea hit the front against Tottenham. So close to an equaliser for Robert Villaham's side. Chelsea in pole position. It is going to be quite a finale.
Yep, with that box ticked, the Blues headed off to face FA Cup winners Manchester United, looking to secure their 5th straight title. However, Manchester City were still very much in the hunt. They too faced a tough away trip to Aston Villa. And we'll bring you all the best action from the other 4 matches on the final day in the Barclays WSL. So here's the story ahead of kickoff. Chelsea and Manchester City level on 52 points. Chelsea 2 goals better off in terms of goal difference. If that too was level at the end of play, then we're into goals scored, matches won and head-to-head records. So lots of ways this title could be decided. Elsewhere, Arsenal had already confirmed 3rd spot and qualification for next season's Champions League. And Bristol City, well, we knew they were relegated, but a few clubs were still jostling for positions, notably 4th, which Manchester United could potentially wrestle away from Liverpool. So lots to get excited about. Alongside our guests, former Manchester City defender Neda Manua and Gilly Flaherty, twice a WSL winner with Chelsea, both smiling. Try not to give anything away before we've seen any of the final day action, so well done to both of you. So here we go. Our commentary duty on Villa Park for Aston Villa against Manchester City is Rachel Brown-Finnis and Robin Cowan, and at Old Trafford for Manchester United against Chelsea, it's Jonathan Pearce.
And it will be Chelsea all in the blue on the final day of this dramatic WSL season, who will kick us off and underway at the top of the table for most of it. But will they be pipped on the final day? It is in their hands, and they have a throw-in immediately, and the throw-in will be taken by Niamh Charles. League ever present. She missed 1 cup game. Looks in the penalty area for the little touch off there then, with the running of Ramirez, tall and powerful international. You may see a shot of a medical bandage she has on her leg, and she's in there now to pressurise Millie Turn. Out came Mary Earps to gather.
And it is Manchester City, the contenders, who get us underway in their change strip. Just up the road from here at Old Trafford, Chelsea taking on what you'd expect to be a buoyant Manchester United after their FA Cup win last weekend. But at the moment, anyway, the onus is on Manchester City. They have to score, and an early goal would really do them good here.
Yeah, in that last league game against Arsenal, where it all went so wrong so late on for Manchester City. He scored relatively early on, dominated the whole first half, but just couldn't get more than that 1 goal. And that's something that Gareth Taylor will have drilled into them this last couple of weeks.
That's forward. with the run of Guru Wrighton. No one in the middle quite yet. That's a decent crosser, and Chelsea lead after just a minute. Myra Ramirez back in the side. What an impact. Not a flicker of emotion. Wrighton timed across to perfection. And Ramirez with the run from deep just held her run, so it looked as if Wrighton didn't have any support in the middle. Then in she went. Perfect cross, lovely header, 1-0.
Well, we already have our first twist in the title race. It's been a fast start for Emma Hayes' side at Old Trafford. Chelsea in front, which means Manchester City now have to score 4. Played forward by Maritz. That's a really good ball. Kenza Dali in behind here. Alicia Lehman up in support. Dali checks back. It's Daly! First big chance of the afternoon.
What an unbelievable break. It's a great ball from Noel Maritz. And Kenza Dali puts it on an absolute plate for H. Daly, just stretching fractionally.
Leupolz with the header. And once again, Ramirez. Ritin Kanarud in here for a second goal for Chelsea. And that's 2 up inside 8 minutes. And the title is heading back to Kingsmeadow as it stands. Outstanding start, and Manchester United have simply been blown away. From Earps, goal kick, she got underneath it perhaps a little bit too much. Leupolz with the important header. And this time Ramirez plays a big role in creating it. And as Earps advanced, so Johanna Ritin Kanarud slipped it beyond her for a 4th of the season. Lovely little dink past the goalkeeper.
More bad news for Manchester City. Another goal for Chelsea. So it means they now have to score 5 without reply.
Ramirez, she's on fire. Ritin Kanarud in here again behind. Square it goes. It's another great chance, and could and should have been 3. Wrighton was in the middle, up in support. Couldn't quite convert it. Would have been game over and probably title over inside 10 minutes. The power here of Ramirez. Picks out Wrighton, and Jade Riviere, to give her credit, did just enough. Wrighton saw her coming, perhaps took her off the ball. It's a good throw, and it was an adventurous run in there by Lisa Nelson, who had a very good game at Wembley last weekend. Proved as the game went on. It's a corner here for Manchester United. Started their last 10 games as the Norwegian international. Nelson was in there, Turner was in there as well, and it got a little flick to it, just touched the top of the bar from Myla Tizier. Lovely glancing header. And their Achilles heel in recent weeks has been their defending at set pieces.
And the atmosphere inside here is pretty dank now. And that's another thing they're going to have to contend with. Need to lift the mood themselves, these players. And that was a foul on Kasperite, free kick.
Exactly what Aston Villa did not want to do. Manchester City so dangerous from these situations, albeit Bunny Shaw out of the equation till next season.
That's the big question, isn't it? Bunny Shaw's absence for the final few games of this season, is that the thing that's going to cost them? Kelly delivers, it's a teasing ball. The goalkeeper came and didn't get there, and it's off the bar. That is the closest that Manchester City have come, and Alana Kennedy.
Well, it's a great ball, is he? Anna Leet goes to collect, it swings away. Well challenged by Danielle Turner, Aston Villa defender.
Hemp delivers towards Fowler. That's a great touch, and that's a wonderful goal to set Manchester City on their way. Oh, they're up now. City in front, still with work to do.
City chasing. What a lovely bit of play. Slips in, cut back, Lauren Hemp picks out her centre-forward teammate. One touch, full volley, right foot to left foot. This is beautiful, and that's what City need to kickstart their revival in this title race.
Here is Kasperite.
Nice.
Making good ground. Still going. Slips it through for Mary Fowler. It's Hemp! It's a brilliant block. Mailing putting her body on the line to prevent another City goal.
Outrageous block from Sarah Mailing. That was a goal-saving challenge.
Mary Fowler.
Nice.
Great ball off the bar. The second time that City have hit the crossbar. Blinkilla Brown close to netting against her former club. Still there for City. Here's Hemp.
Another that should have seen the net ripple. Mary Fowler here just bides her time, looks to pick out the perfect pass and does so. And Blinkilla Brown just cannot get over the top of it enough.
Ramirez to turn Turner and run her down the line, and she's too powerful for Turner, and she's gone beyond her, and there's a little pullback, and there's 3-0. Shirkanuskan off the bench has surely put one hand of Chelsea's on the title now. It's a brilliant run from Ramirez, who scored one and has created two, and Chelsea are 3-0 up. Again down that left channel. She's simply too strong for Millie Turner. Bulldozed into the box, had the awareness to pull it across, right, and stepped over it. What a half for them. 3 shots on target, 3 goals. Level on points, but the goal difference is now a yawning 4. And because they've scored more goals, Chelsea, Manchester City effectively have to score 5. And it's the outstanding Ramirez. And Ritin Kanarit, and Nuskin's making up ground to get in there. Ramirez awaits in a deep position. Up through the gears, beyond 2, it's brilliant, it's sensational, it's Manchester United 0, Chelsea 4. An amazing first half as they steamroll towards another title, with Mayra Ramirez driving them on again and again. Absolutely magnificent. Saw the opportunity to run the defender, just breezed beyond Nelson and Blundell. Looked to the far corner, and that's where it went. Superb execution, and final day delight for Emma Hayes.
A 4th for Chelsea. In all honesty, from here, it's going to be difficult, and that's another chance not taken. Jess Park drawing a fabulous stop from Anna Leet. Nothing is going City's way at the moment.
Just not sharp enough. Look, great run, great holding position. Penalty spot is exactly textbook. Jess Park does that brilliantly, but just puts it too close to Anna Leet.
Leopold, she's been super in the midfield, and she looks here for Ritin Kanarit. She's lost her way a little bit as she tried to carry into the box, but she's still running, and she's still in, and Earp saves. And it's just at the bottom of the post from the follow-up by Guro Wrighton, and it's still alive, and it's poked in, and they have another, and it's Leopold, and she's deserved that. A flurry of chances that came and went. Look at the smiles, they know the title is done. Ritin Kanarit with the run. Riviere tried to turned into trouble. Ritin Kanarit got in there again, little nutmeg on Turner. Earps makes a good save, and then Wrighton hits the post, but she was aware it was still alive. There's the pullback, Leopold stretching. Just wonder whether the keeper could have done better with this second one, having made a fine first stop. Got to her feet, back into the middle of the goal, but she couldn't keep it out. And it's 5-0 to Chelsea. What a day for them. 5-star show. So this will be, all in all, a 7th league title winners medal for Emma Hayes. Not quite matching that great man, but she's been as dominant in the women's game as he was in the men's.
And the roar you hear now is for Steph Horton coming onto the pitch. Many a proud moment for her with club and country. A wonderful leader and ambassador at Manchester City. And everybody on their feet to applaud her.
Oh, that looked tight, but the flag has stayed down. Rachel Daly is in. It's Daly! It's 1-1! Aston Villa ripping up the script. Chelsea doing their job at Old Trafford. For the second game in a row, Manchester City failed to do theirs.
It was a tight call whether she's onside, but when she was given a chance, that is such a beautiful finish. Just opens up absolute textbook.
Well, that has broken Manchester City's day. Makes it 1-1 there, and makes it all the more comfortable for Chelsea here.
That's a lovely ball from Greenwood. Wahabi. Oh, what a fantastic save from Annalise. Extraordinary.
She's not needed to have a blinder till now, but what a save that was.
And here come Chelsea substitutes, and it will be a special moment for one of them, that's for sure. Fran Kirby's about to come on. Gura Wrighton departs. And listen to these rules now for Fran Kirby. Replaces Erin Cuthbert, with whom she has faced so many games. She announced to the supporters in a video link that she was leaving. There were tears in her eyes, very emotional.
Fowler's ball in, oh, and there it is. Lauren Hemp putting Manchester City back in front. Well, you can't say they haven't had enough chances. Lauren Hemp has been leading the charge, and she has her 11th WSL goal of the season, but from the reaction, it's going to mean very, very little.
And here's Kirby. Wouldn't it be delightful if she was to cap it all with a goal? Ingle. Lawrence leaves it on. Here's Fran Kirby. Oh, that's very, very special. That is very, very special. In her last game as a Chelsea player, she gets a goal and kisses towards the fans. A farewell moment to cap it all. Chelsea have a sixth. Chelsea have another title. It has been a marvellous performance. For Fran Kirby, it will be a sixth as a Chelsea player.
And there we have it. Victory for Gareth Taylor, but a most hollow one. They finished second, runners-up in the Barclays Women's Super League for the 6th time in their history. Chelsea pipping them to the post again after a rout at Old Trafford.
They're already celebrating. They have a corner, they know the clock is ticking. You can win a single game, said Emma Hayes before the match, on talent alone. But you can't win a league on talent alone. You need endeavour, you need persistence, you need teamwork. And Chelsea have had it in bucket loads today. And Chelsea have won the WSL title again for the 5th time in a row. They are crowned WSL champions. They have hit Manchester United for 6 of the best on the last day, with the outstanding Ramirez getting 2, Kanerud and Nuskin, Leopolds, and very, very, very special Fran Kirby getting the last. Tears of joy. They are worthy champions, and Emma Hayes bows out of English football with yet another title, her 7th, to go along with the 5 FA Cups and the 2 Continental Cups. Outstanding on the day. Chelsea are champions, having won here by 6 goals to 0. and how fitting it is that the trophy will be lifted aloft by the two of them. The captain of Chelsea Football Club, Millie Bright, and the greatest manager in the history of the WSL, Emma Hayes. One last trophy, one last day in the sunshine of Old Trafford. The ticker tape comes down. Chelsea are WSL champions 2023-24.
Many people could have predicted which way the title was potentially going to go today, but after 2-0 up within 7 minutes, did you have a good idea it was heading back to South West London?
Yes, I think so. We've had some big injuries this year, and having all the leaders on the pitch I felt was absolutely essential. It's a big occasion and you need the experience, and everybody delivered today.
Is exhausted the right word right now?
Yeah, no, I don't think I have any words. It's sort of, I'm probably mixed with a ton of different emotions, and no, it's the end, and no, I won't be with this team or with these fans again, but they're always in my heart.
I thought you might be a little bit more emotional than you are right now.
I think, to be honest, I got all my emotion out quite early on when obviously everything was kind of being spoken about and everything, and obviously with all the farewells and stuff, you kind of get all the emotion out then. So no, I just wanted to enjoy today and just wanted to be present and wanted to be a part of it. I got a little bit emotional with the goal, but I was like, I think there's still another 10 minutes to go, so I've got to try and get over it. So yeah.
I feel really proud of the team's performance. Second half, we really upped it, and our combination play around the edge of the box was so good. And the mad thing is, we could have scored maybe double figures today quite easily. That's the difference. So really proud of the team. To win 18 games in a season is not easy in a 22-game season, and still to come up short. But we have, and we'll improve. We'll get better. I think it's been a big push from the team. We've worked tremendously hard, and we'll come back fighting.
Carlo, we can see there, look, the Villa fans cheering your name. It's done. You've got yourself a well-deserved break. How are the emotions right now?
Yeah, it's they're great, aren't they? You want to sing along with them, don't you? No, listen, it's been a weird emotional day, because really proud of the team today in the way that we conducted ourselves on and off the ball, and then going out in the manner we are. Of course, you're on the touchline, trying to urge the team up the pitch, and you think, I'm not going to be doing this for a while, but I think once I have a breather, and I think I'll come back stronger.
How hard is Emma Hayes going to party tonight?
I can't even imagine. I know Emma Hayes on a night out, so I'll be making sure. Shot for me, shot for her every time I get them. But yeah, we're all going to celebrate, and the beauty is we can all be together and celebrate as a group.
Will the players be buying her drinks for once?
No, club can buy them. We've just won a title. What do you mean I expect a drink in my hand every minute?
Cutting loose for a 48-year-old middle-aged woman in menopause is called a cup of tea, and a quiet booth in the corner. The rest of them, they can use the energy.
Erin Cuthbert's just told us she's going to buy a shot for her and buy a shot for you all the way through the night. You up for that?
Oh my goodness, no, it terrifies me. No, alcohol terrifies me. I actually don't like it. It doesn't like me. So I fear for the evening, I really, really do. But you know what, we love a boogie and we love a party. So we're going to have a big one tonight.
Emma, you've been sensational, not just today, not just this season, but over the last 12 years. You have quite possibly changed women's football in this country forever. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, congratulations indeed, and I'm sure they are boogieing away right now. And Gilly, you know how that feels to be able to lift that trophy, but a well-deserved title win for Chelsea, and today's win, of course, as well.
Yeah, and I think if you're looking at a couple of weeks ago, it looked like they potentially was going to come away with no trophies this season, and I think obviously it's the fairy tale ending the best way possible after what's happened over the last few weeks, that they went and got the win today. It's probably the most difficult title race that they've been in, going down today, obviously, to the goal difference. But they had one thing in their mind and they had the task set, and for me, they were the deserved winners.
I mean, 5th title in a row, that within itself is really something, Jill.
Yeah, it's consistent. And, every year it gets harder and harder on the WSL. You've got more teams investing, you've got more teams going bigger on the summer spending. They've had a really difficult year with the injuries that they've had, and the players that they've lost. Any other team probably would have struggled to carry on with that. But They went out and they recruited. Other players really stepped up. And I think, obviously, like I said, I think they fully deserved it.
I mean, Nadim, it just shows their level of resolve, right? They just come back, they do what they need to do, and they just know how to get it done on the final day.
Yeah, they absolutely do. You know, when you're talking about winning 5 in a row, that is real championship calibre. And even though they were on the back foot, as Julie was saying, you give them that second chance and they will punish you, as we saw a couple of weeks ago. And then going into this game today, it's like, oh, maybe this will be a really good title race between City, Chelsea. They're going to score first. But we saw straight away Chelsea were the dominant force today.
And just on City, Nadim, a disappointing day for them, surely. They also knew what their task was and they just didn't quite live up to expectations.
Yeah, they didn't. But I think, as Gareth was saying, they've won, I think it's 18 games this season. That is very, very impressive. But ultimately, it's the key moments. And I think for them, some of those ones across the season have kind of let them down a little bit. And if you want to beat a side like Chelsea, who have basically owned the title themselves, you have to be closer to perfection. Unfortunately, that wasn't them this year.
OK, well, let's get into this Chelsea game because they were out of the gate. They started so well, but for United defensively, a big bag of questions they've got to answer here.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, me and Ned have been talking about it. Like, defensively, just so poor. You're looking at here, Riviera's got no idea at all where Guru Wrighton is, and she's not a player that you allow the time and space on the ball. But here, a fantastic delivery. Millie Turner, her body shape's completely wrong. She's got no idea where Riviera is, and it was just a whole catalogue of mistakes from the whole Man United defence, but they just got bullied. They got bullied today by Ramirez, and when you come up against a Chelsea like this, who are on the front foot and they're aggressive, they're hard to sit with.
And I mean, in the first 12 minutes, you just knew what their intention was here, Nadim.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought Ramirez was excellent, and as Julie was saying, like, they bullied them, but as well, they had the technical resolve and the sort of understanding of how to go and play in big games as well. So you could see United were immediately on the back foot, and it did seem like it was going to be a very long day for them from very early doors.
Let's talk about Myra Ramirez, because you said you'd use the word bully in the nicest possible way, but she was about it today. She said she wanted to come out there and do what she had to do.
100%. She was such a great target for them. If you want to score a goal, like, imagine having all that space in front of the Stretford end. It's a dream come true. But I think for a striker to be able to sense that and know that's the right ball to play, then that's fantastic. And even here, at times she would be in the box, other times she would come to the edge, but she still wants to have an impact. So can she take somebody on? I think the defending here is a little bit lax, but when you're through, how's your composure? Side netting will do nicely.
And Julie, you cannot underestimate how important a player like this is for this particular Chelsea side on a day like this today.
Yeah, and obviously she hasn't featured lately because she's obviously been injured, and it seems like now, was she being saved for this game? But yeah, like, it's hard being a centre-back, watching those centre-backs struggle. Like I said, I'm glad that I'm retired and I'm not playing against her, but she's just got one thing on her mind, and that's just to get to the goal as quick as she possibly can.
Absolutely. Let's talk about Fran Kirby as well. It's her final game as a Chelsea player, and what a game, a goal for her, and a fairy tale ending to what's been a really wonderful, lovely career for someone like Fran at Chelsea.
Absolutely. If you can come onto a field with a big smile on your face like that, you know, that's the great point to start with. I think getting a chance to be out there, being in good health is key. But then when you can come and make a difference as well, you're winning 5-0, but you can still have an impact in the game. And this is a great 1-2. I think it's a great dummy by Lawrence. And you're through. How's your composure? Same as it's always been. Slams that into the bottom corner. Look at the joy in her face. And you know, as far as smiles go, that's a very, very infectious one.
Yeah, and Julie, this is why you do it, isn't it? You know, she's had a bunch of challenges, and they've been well documented at a time at Chelsea. But look at that. You know, to be able to score on the final day in your final game, that's brilliant.
Yeah, we talk all the time, don't we, about fairy tales in sport, and I mean, I've known Fran for many, many years. She's a lovely girl on and off the pitch, and for a player who has gone through so much and has given so much to Chelsea, it's so fitting today that she was able to put that one away.
Yeah, I feel like we're saying goodbye to loads of people today. Emma Hayes being one of them. We heard her and how important it was for her to leave Chelsea on a high. But here she goes. But what a record she has. It leaves such a massive legacy.
Yeah, huge legacy, not just for Chelsea, but for women's football in general in England, you know. And I think, I always said about Emma, she produced on the pitch, obviously looking at 7 WSL titles, the rest of it as well, but what she's done off the pitch, you know, she went to Chelsea, she demanded standards, she demanded more investment, their own building. She was one of a kind, really, and the first one to do it, and other teams had to follow. So she's got the success on the pitch and off the pitch, and I mean, USA, they're in very safe hands.
Yeah, they're in safe hands, and she's so well respected, not just here in the UK, but globally as well, hence the job in the States. And you can just see it, you feel it, you know, going off the back of what Julie said there, Nadim.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you see the success that she's had, she commands a level of respect. And when Julie's talking about the changes she did behind the scenes as well, I think these things are also key, and not to necessarily pin it this way, but I think for some, the value of her being a woman that's dominating this as well is something which will inspire other people to try and go in that same role. It's not to say that the guys shouldn't be managing and alike, but she is literally at the top of her profession. And I think other people who aspire to be like that, you know, there's the perfect role model.
Right time for her to go, guys?
Listen,
For other WSL managers,
yeah, absolutely. The right time could have been years ago. Yeah.
for a lot of them. Okay, we had two teams today that were going in for a title, Man City being one of them, and they just were not able to take those chances there, Nadem.
No, they weren't, unfortunately, and I think at times this could have been something that has plagued them when it's coming down to goal difference in particular. I think Gareth Taylor said himself that they could have scored 10. Maybe that's a bit of a reach. You know, if it's a perfect day, perhaps you could. But they did create tons of opportunities. But then I think in the back of their minds, they also knew that Chelsea were doing what they were doing. I think it'd be very hard to be on the field and not know that Chelsea were 2, 3, 4-0 up. But I think, again, you know, you have these opportunities, and this will be the disappointment they face, because if they would have taken some of these chances earlier in the season, maybe they approach the final game of the season in a more dominant position. But I think for them, they'll try and take the positives, but then also know that they came so close.
Julie, how does that impact you, knowing that you've got to score a certain amount of goals, and when you can hear another team that you're up against, you know, putting those goals away, where do you go from there? Like, what do you think?
I mean, it's hard because you just really want to focus on what you're doing.
Yeah.
But naturally, you are going to hear things that are going on, and probably for City, with the chances that they had and they weren't putting them away, you're probably thinking today's not going to be our day. And it's hard when you're going down to the last final game, or you're wanting one result from a game, because you then always think we could have done this in other games. We should have put the ball in the back of the net on other times.
But look, it's almost frantic. 31 shots, only 12 of those on target, and then 2 goals. Compared to Chelsea there, Nadem, you were a little bit more, well, I say a little bit, a lot more clinical in terms of making sure those were on target for the shots they did take.
Yeah, Chelsea were very, very clinical today. I think when they were 5-0, maybe they'd had 8 shots in the game. But you look at some of the goals that they scored, they're goals from like maybe 2 yards out, uncontested 3 yards out. They created a really high quality of chance. I think for City, you know, on a different day, maybe they do convert some more of those, but it felt as if the better chances were falling to Chelsea on the day, unfortunately.
It would have been frustrating for someone like Steph Houghton, as again, someone who's announced their retirement, and she comes onto the pitch and she'd want a better send-off, but it's still for her, again, a beautiful way to say goodbye to fans in a way.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've known Steph, I think, probably coming on to a decade now, and how much football means so much to her, and it's going to be strange for her to enter the next stage of her life, but to be able to have your last game on the field, to have the applause from everybody in the stadium, to have the opposition players coming up and greeting you as well, you know, that says a lot about the person that she has been in the career that she's had. But unfortunately, it does end in disappointment. But I think for her, she'll just have to pick herself up, and I think there's stuff for her to look forward to in the future.
It is tough. It's going to be a new look Manchester City from next season. Quite a few goodbyes were announced today. A few players that leave. We've got Ellie Roebuck, Demi Stokes, Philippa Unkeldahl, Ruby Mace. They're all going to go this summer. What does that mean for City, do you think?
I think they need to have a big recruitment. I think with City, they've been a club that only really have recruited 1 or 2 players each transfer window. So yeah, they'll feel hurt that they was nearly there, and I think the pressure is going to be on for City, especially I think with Chelsea, with Emma leaving Chelsea, there's going to be a new manager coming in, it's going to be changed. This is probably the best time to go and hit Chelsea and go and push them to go and get the title. So it'll be interesting summer, I think.
And Carla Ward as well, she's going. I feel like we need a leaving card just to like say goodbye to all these people, but Carla Ward, she's going as well. You know, that's going to impact Villa, Nadem.
It absolutely is. I think the captain, Rachel Corsie, just signed a deal for another year, and it's going to be interesting to see who's going to be in charge there, because whoever comes in, do they have the same philosophy as Carla? Is it completely different? Does she believe in younger players, older players, style of play? But in the same breath, I think they'll be excited for the future.
Yeah, for sure. And Manchester United, I want to know from you, Julie, what you think. I mean, they won the FA Cup, you know, but 5th in the league. Is it a good season or a bad season for them?
I mean, some people will be happy. Listen, the FA Cup, that's a prestige trophy to win, obviously. It's one of the biggest ones. But I think if you're looking at in regards to their league performance, I think it's been a disappointing season for them. I think they've not challenged any of the top 3. They've sort of been the team to roll over. And I think if you're looking from an outside point of view and a fan's point of view, they want more. They're demanding more from Man United. So I think, obviously, Skinner's got a new deal, but I think there'll be more pressure on them next year to go and actually challenge the top 3.
Yeah, I think that's what we need to close that gap a lot more. Thanks for now, guys. We have 17 more goals to bring you from the remaining 4 games. And we're going to start with Arsenal up against Brighton. Here's Emma Jones.
Arsenal had won all 11 of their previous Barclays WSL matches against Brighton, and they went ahead after just 17 minutes on Saturday. Beth Mead and Emily Fox with the link-up play, Alessia Russo with the finish. The Gunners continued to pile on the pressure and were rewarded with a second goal after a mix-up in the visitors' defence, Russo again in position. Arsenal had an excellent opportunity to increase their advantage after the break when Joralyn Karabali fouled Steph Catley. Captain Kim Little stepped up to take the kick, but her effort hit the post. Midway through the second half, Russo made way for Vivianne Miedema, on to make her final appearance for the Gunners. 2 minutes later, and with her first touch of the game, the Barclays WSL all-time leading goalscorer made it 3-0. It got even worse for Brighton when Meade's corner was returned by Leah Cordina before the unfortunate Karabali headed into her own net. With minutes remaining, it was 5. Miedema with the assist this time, Frida Mornum with the finish past Sophie Bagley. A fine end to the season for Jonas Eidevald's side.
It was a very good ending to the season. I think we kept a clean sheet. We wanted to do that a lot of times in this season where we haven't been able to, and I think we played some great attacking football and we scored 5 goals, and it was nice seeing players leaving us, getting both playing time but also doing very well. So all in all, a very good day to be Arsenal women.
Liverpool were unbeaten in their last 4 away games in the Barclays WSL, and it didn't take them long to go ahead against Leicester City. Sophie Roman-Hogg with the opener on 7 minutes. The visitors dictated the play, but were made to wait until midway through the second half to double their lead. Substitute Leanne Kiernan with the glancing header. The Republic of Ireland striker added her second with a powerful finish on the counter-attack that Janina Leitzik could do nothing about. Kiernan then completed her hat-trick in added time with a rampaging run forward. A first Barclays WSL double for the Reds over Leicester City.
Shout out to the girls. I know that I wouldn't get into the positions without them. Great assists all round, and do you know what, we've done great this season, and it's down to every single one of the squad. They've been brilliant, and even the girls that haven't got on the pitch in the gym, like, we've a great group of girls, and I feel like it's been a really good year for Liverpool.
West Ham had won just one of their last 9 away games in the Barclays WSL, and that record didn't look like improving when Tottenham took the lead through Beth England after just 4 minutes. Spurs enjoyed the majority of the possession, but the Hammers drew level shortly after the break. Onaka Hayashi found her Japanese compatriot Rika Ueki. Her arrowed strike went in off the post. West Ham may have thought they'd done enough for a point, but with 4 minutes to go, Tottenham regained the lead through Jessica Naz after a well-weighted pass from Grace Clinton. However, Spurs saved the best for last. When 9 minutes into stoppage time, Naz found Drew Spence, who hooked a superb strike into the far corner. 3-1, the final score.
We want to finish on a high, and I think we actually did that. We played some really good football, created some good chances, almost had to go for a draw, but we find a way to win and score some beautiful goals. So I'm very happy that the girls can end this season in such a good way.
Bristol City had lost their last 13 Barclays WSL home games, the longest home losing streak in the competition's history. And they found themselves trailing after 16 minutes to Everton when Sarah Holmgaard found Katja Snuis. The Toffees settled quickly and began to assert their dominance, doubling their advantage before the half-hour mark. Snuis, the provider this time, Sarah Holmgaard with the finish. Everton netted a third early in the second half when Katrine Vai set up Emma Bissell to score against her former club. The visitors then added to Bristol City's misery deep into stoppage time when Eleanor Dale's cutback found Martina Piemonte. 4-0 is how it finished.
Girls was terrific today. We know that it would be hard. They haven't won home all season, so of course Bristol will try to do everything they could to get a win, and we knew that we had to step up and be ready, and I think we were that. Full control the entire game, should have scored more. So really proud of the girls, like the effort they put in, but also we keep to our style and we play the ball through and creates a lot of chances today. So yeah, really proud of them.
Well, lots to get stuck into there, but let's start with Viv Miedema. What a goal from her. You know, she scored Arsenal's 5th goal and 2 minutes after coming on. But she's leaving, Gilly. Why is she going?
There's another one that's going. Well, rumours are she may be playing in blue next year. But, yeah, I think, listen, with Miedema, she's one of the best players to have played in the WSL. And, you know, we talk about these fairy tales, Fran Kirby getting a goal when she's leaving, obviously Miedema as well getting the send-off that she rightly deserves. And I know the fans are gutted that she's going, but I hope for Arsenal's sake that she don't come back and punish them next year.
For sure. In terms of Liverpool as well, it's a hat-trick for Leanne Kiernan. And for Liverpool, they've been able to really push on in the WSL, haven't they? And how important is that for them to set up next season, Nathan?
No, I think it's huge. I think the way that you sort of finish a season can sort of affect the vibes within a football club. I think your connection with the fans and you as a player as well, doing something good to finish gives you all the hope in the world for, as I say, the summer and the next season. And when you can come out, score a hat-trick and, you know, really take the ball to people, it's nice. If you're getting a match ball on the last day of the season, you're a hero. Doesn't matter where you're playing, whether it's in the WSL, Premier League or just on a Sunday League field. It's a great moment for her.
And what is that like then, actually, Gilly? If you end in a season on a high and you're pushing into the next, you know, you must have a level of confidence knowing that, right, next season, you know, something might be different for us.
Yeah, I mean, it's the best way to end the season. I remember at West Ham, we got to the FA Cup final, done really well against Man City, then lost 4-0 against Brighton, and it felt like our whole season had just been deflated, you know, and we'd had a really good one. So I do think, yeah, it sets the tone going into the off-season break as well. And then, yeah, the right to kick on for the next season.
And for Spurs, 3-1 winners, a fantastic goal from Drew Spence, wasn't it? Let's have a look at this. Wonderful from her. But what have you made of their season, Nader?
I think the fact they made it to the FA Cup final, I think, was really impressive, and with a chance to win their first trophy. But obviously, they were disappointed on the day. But sorry, I'm amazed by that goal. It's such a good finish. I'm trying to talk seriously, but she's got in the top corner.
Brilliant finish.
I think they will be disappointed about the FA Cup final, but I think there'll be belief that next season they can come back and be stronger and maybe contest again.
Yeah, and we were at the game midweek, Spurs against Chelsea, and they actually played really, really well. And they, you know, unlucky to come away without the win, but again, a club that are kind of closing that gap a little bit, aren't they, Gilly?
Yeah, and I think obviously Robert Villahan wants them to play a certain way. He wants them to be brave, plan out, and obviously not just be a team that gets rolled over by the big guns, but to go and compete. And I think you're seeing that, and I think it'll be an interesting off-season in regards to recruitment, who he brings in, and then another season of his DNA being implemented.
OK, quick one on Everton as well. 4-1 winners today. It's going to be good for them to set up next season as well, Naden.
I promise you, I know I've said it before and I'll say it again, winning the last game of the season affects your mindset in such a great way. And I think for them to finish with that sort of result on the road as well, the manager's seeing some positivity, seeing some principles come out in the fore there. You know, you can walk away with your head held high and say, be in a good spot.
Well, it sets up the next season nicely, but let's take a look at the final Barclays Women's Super League table of the season. And there you go. Chelsea win the title on goal difference. 7 goals the gap with Manchester City. Arsenal finished 3rd, and with that, qualify for next season's Champions League. Liverpool had their highest WSL finish since 2017, with Manchester United in 5th, Tottenham 6th, Villa 7th as Carla Ward departs, of course, Everton 8th, Brighton in 9th, Leicester 10th, West Ham 11th and Bristol City 12th as they return to the Championship next season. Lots of sport to come on the BBC tomorrow. There's rugby league action with the Women's Challenge Cup semi-final between Leeds Rhinos and Wigan Warriors on iPlayer from 12:20. From 4 o'clock on 5 Live and BBC Sounds live commentary of the final day in the Premier League, with Manchester City bidding for a 4th straight title as they welcome West Ham. And see all the highlights of that, of course, on Match of the Day on BBC One from 10:30. There's also the brilliantly funny Tooney and Russo show, available now on BBC Sounds. Well, a massive congratulations to Chelsea, commiserations to City, and Nadim and Gilly, thank you very much for your company. It may not have been quite the final day we'd hoped for, not that Chelsea will care anyway, but this WSL season certainly hasn't disappointed, but it's bye for now.
Season 23-24. Off we go.
It's all or nothing, nothing, no. You're going up against the greatest, and it's gonna
Can you believe it?
if you wanna try to test me.
The Gunners firing shots against the champions.
Tottenham have beaten Arsenal for the first time in their WSL history.
Yeah, it's going down in history.
And Sissoko steers it in!
Brilliant effort. Oh, what a goal!
Take a swing, you're gonna miss me. Yeah, it's going down in history. Oh,
That is a perfect header.
I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest.
And Bristol City are championship bound.
Gotta prove myself.
Good on! And Chelsea's title dream is in tatters. Free header! You are kidding me! How to burst a balloon in 2 minutes. There is number 8.
Chelsea in pole position.
D-Day, decision day, the day of reckoning. Oh, and Chelsea lead after just a minute. And the title is heading back to Kings Meadow.
That's a wonderful goal to set Manchester City on their way.
It's sensational as they steamroll towards another title. Here's Van Kirby. Oh, that is very, very special. Look at the smiles, they know the title is done. For the 5th time in a row, they are crowned WSL champions.